Hello. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. Greetings. Salutations. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Before we get into things, you guys need to know that our good friend Zach over at Bulwark Capital, he's doing a free live webinar tomorrow, 3:30 Pacific time. That would be 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. You can go to knowyourriskradio.com and sign up for that. And you should really do that if you care about money and keeping your money and growing your money. You can do that. So go to knowyourriskradio.com and sign up for that because he knows a lot about money. So do that. Also, go to our website. After you do that, after you watch this program, go to our website at chicksontheright.com. And you can also check out all of our links, chicksontheright.com/links. It has all of our socials, all of our things, our podcast, everything. And it's pink and it's fabulous. chicksontheright.com.
And then you can make sure that you're following us in all the places.
All the places. So do that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, do that for sure. So there was first of all, there's Oscar Hullabaloo. And Oscar nominations came out and like people are super mad because the creator of Barbie and Margot Robbie, who played Barbie, neither of them got Oscar nods. And yet Ryan Gosling, who played Ken, did. And so it's just kind of hysterical that like this big feminist movie, they didn't get nominated and the man did. So
who cares? You know what I mean? Like people are so up in arms about this. I just don't care. They're so upset about it. And and they're calling this film groundbreaking. Did you guys see this? Did you see the film? I didn't, because I know you saw it. You didn't think it was that great of a film. My daughter saw it and she was like, I didn't think
People say my mic isn't connected. I have to go connect it.
Really?
I'm going to reconnect it. Yeah. So talk about Mean Girls while I go connect it.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, they're saying that Barbie is groundbreaking, and I'm rolling my eyes so hard at the fact that they say it's groundbreaking. And we think it's hilarious that a lot of people actually care about this ridiculous movie. Anyways, all the people complaining about, them not getting the nods, the women not getting the nods for any of these awards, they can bugger off because these are the same people who are like cheering on men being in women's sports. So
exactly.
Yeah. So there's that. Also, I did see Mean Girls over the weekend and it was a musical, you guys. So take that.
Which some people think is. Do I sound better? Is it okay now? Like, does it sound better?
Yeah, I didn't notice that before. You and I talked for a long time and I didn't even
I hope
notice.
It's better. Okay. Yeah, it's better. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a musical. So if you're into that, that's your warning.
There you go. You can see that. All right. So for some reason, and we could tell you about like all the people that are nominated, but does anybody care?
Nobody cares.
I don't care. I don't even know most
Nobody
of the people.
cares.
But as you know, when it comes to award season, I do like looking at the dresses. And there was some sort of event, like some premiere of some show, it doesn't matter, that the Daily Mail has a bunch of dresses on. And I guess the theme was black and white. So I just wanted to share because these 4 actresses, first of all, it's funny because these 4 actresses are at the top of this article doing their red carpet stuff. And then underneath them are all these other actors and actresses I don't know anybody. Like I'm amazed at how out of touch I am
with pop culture.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Totally out of touch.
Yeah.
So these 4 I know because they're our age. So we've got Demi Moore, we've got Diane is it Ladd or Lane?
It's probably Diane Lane. Because there's a new show coming out about Truman Capote and the Swan Ladies.
That's it.
Yeah. And I'm all about that. I want to actually watch that because I'm in, the Truman Capote thing because it's based on a true story. It looks really
okay. Well,
really
that's what the premiere was. That's what everybody was doing. So it's Diane Lane, Callista Flockhart, and Naomi Watts. So these, and I'm not even looking at their dresses because their dresses are all kind of weird, but like their faces, because Demi Moore is 61 years old. Diane Lane is 59. Callista Flockhart, I believe, is 59, and Naomi Watts is 55. And look at how good they look. They look amazing.
My God. Like that's gotta be surgery, right, guys? That's surgery. But
I
good,
mean,
but good surgeons.
it's not bad. Demi Moore looks absolutely like she just has not aged at all.
Yeah, you know what that is? That's a pact with the devil, you guys. That's what that is.
I mean, that is, holy cow. They
Yeah.
look amazing. So, say what you want about the dresses. It doesn't matter. It's just look at their faces.
Yeah, that's
look at
pretty
how
nuts.
good they all look.
And I also think Callista Flockhart and Harrison Ford are a cute couple. I know that
they are.
There's a huge
They
age
are.
difference, and I know you think that's gross. You always want to vomit at that, but I think they're adorable. Somebody's saying adrenochrome. Could be adrenochrome. I don't know. I don't know. Something's keeping them young. I don't know how that works.
Weird.
And they don't look like tigers. None of them look like tigers.
Exactly. They don't look super filled. They just
Mm-mm.
maybe look a little pulled.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they look good, all of them. Maybe they're just all using Genucel. You know what I mean? You don't know.
Could be the Genucel.
Because they look remarkable. Yeah. Meg Prescott, thank you so much. Meg says, good morning from the Granite State. Of course, there had to be some shenanigans. Local news reported some towns running out of Republican ballots. I was able to cast my ballot, thankfully. Interesting. I had not heard about shenanigans there in the Granite State, but of course there's lots and lots of news to get to about the primaries that happened. I guess Dean Phillips got 21% of the vote, which you can take two ways, right? Like you can say, wow, that's really great against an incumbent president, but also Biden wasn't even on the ballot. So like people had to write him in. Yeah. And the fact that he only got 20% when people had to actually write in Biden's name, that also, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to take it exactly. You could sort of take it both ways.
Everybody knows who Biden is. And so I don't know. I still feel like the 21% is a pretty good percentage.
It's not a terrible showing.
No. I mean, they've not done any public debates. It's not like they've shown them on national television. It's not like Rachel Maddow's out there going, hey, let's do a town hall with this guy. He and Woo Woo Lady on her astral projection, they've not gotten a lot of play by the
I don't know where
media.
She finished up, actually.
She was like,
now that you say that,
like 3% or something. She
really?
was in the single digits, I think. I mean, I don't know, 3, 7. Do you guys know? It was single digits.
Okay.
But
I don't know why she's still in this.
Yeah, return to love. Return to love.
Well, and we'll get to a lot more about all that. Also, quick reminder about the meet and greet. Tickets go on sale 11 a.m. Eastern in both the local supporters and Facebook insiders groups this Monday for the June 29th meet and greet. So that's happening. And then also this Friday, don't forget, our show is starting a half an hour early. Because I have my gum surgery on Friday. So we're going to start at 7:30 Eastern on Friday morning. So just make sure that you mark your calendars for that and look for us a half an hour earlier on Friday. Now, before we get to all of the videos of Nikki Haley and Donald Trump and everything that happened in the primaries, in the primary yesterday in New Hampshire, we do need to remind people too that if you have been thinking, how can I put my money towards the causes that I believe in, without necessarily spending more than I already spend? Because I know everybody's hurting, right? Like the economy sucks for a lot of people. And so if you're looking for a way to actually support causes you believe in with your wallet, you could consider switching your cell phone service to Patriot Mobile. And that is because let me tell you about the 4 pillars that Patriot Mobile has when it comes to the causes that they care about and support financially. It is freedom of religion and speech, First Amendment, freedom to carry, Second Amendment, freedom to live, in other words, pro-life causes, and then lastly, supporting veterans and first responders. These are all causes that all of us care a lot about. And so when you get your cell service with Patriot Mobile, not only are you connected to the same 3 big networks that you would be connected to anyway, your money then is directed to these causes. And here's the coolest part. Not only do they gave like $2 million to causes that are in support of those 4 pillars last year alone, but also if you're a traveler, like if you go from state to state and maybe like one particular carrier or network works really well in one state, but not so well in the other, you can switch between the networks for free with Patriot Mobile, which is a really cool thing. And the service is just as good, if not better. The customer service is just as good, if not better. So think about switching. You can get free activation when you visit patriotmobile.com/chicks and use code chicks. And that would be a great New Year's resolution to make that switch. All right, let's get into what happened yesterday in the Republican primary. Nikki Haley did not win. Surprise. Trump won, I think, around 10, 11 points, something like that.
They thought it was going to be more, though. I mean, Trump did? Yeah, but they thought the spread would be bigger. So she actually did better. She outperformed their expectations. So there's that. I mean, because they thought it was going to be like what, an 18-point spread, 20-point spread, something like that.
Okay. So, well, then it was closer than than they thought it might be.
I mean, take that. He still won.
Right. And she, of course, is celebrating the second place victory, for lack of a better word. And so here are two clips smooshed together from her victory speech last night.
I want to congratulate Donald Trump on his victory tonight. He earned it, and I want to acknowledge that. Now, you've all heard the chatter among the political class. They're falling all over themselves, saying this race is over. It's not Well, I have news for all of them. New Hampshire is first in the nation. It is not the last in the nation. This race is far from over. There are dozens of states left to go. And the question is, who's going to fix it? With Donald Trump, Republicans have lost almost every competitive election. We lost the Senate. We lost the House. We lost the White House. We lost in 2018. We lost in 2020. And we lost in 2022. The worst kept secret in politics is how badly the Democrats want to run against Donald Trump. They know Trump is the only Republican in the country who Joe Biden can defeat. You can't fix the mess if you don't win an election. A Trump nomination is a Biden win and a Kamala Harris presidency. I defeat Biden handily.
God, who are the people in the audience?
Somebody said it was Chris Sununu yelling the most.
Just saying, "Dump Trump," and like that. It's like, who are these weirdos that go to?
I mean, I
can
see Chris Sununu doing that. Actually,
yeah, I can too. It's just so funny. I just always go back to the whole mantra of Ricky Bobby: if you ain't first, you're last. You know.
Well, I mean, she's in it. She has clearly no plans of getting out.
She's in it to win it. And that's admirable. Very admirable, I guess.
Well, it's interesting because immediately after, Trump was victorious in Iowa, all of a sudden, literally within the last couple of days, now we're seeing all of these national polls saying Trump is going to lose the general. And we weren't seeing that during the primaries, right? Like everything was, Trump is like he's going to beat Biden in a landslide. And now all of a sudden the tone has completely changed. And all of a sudden polls have changed. And so once again, we're faced with this question. Do we believe polls? Do we not believe polls? Do we only believe polls when they're going our way? Or you know what I mean? And so now
the answer is yes, Mog.
Yeah, apparently so. But polls are showing Biden will run away with this. And this is, of course, has been my fear from the get-go. And unfortunately, the polls are sort of bearing that out. Now, Trump, in his victory speech from last night, it's a very different tone. He was very picky at her, and even about like her dress, for example. And so it was noticed by several in the media. But first, you'll hear what Trump says about Nikki.
It was very interesting because I said, "Wow, what a great victory!" But then somebody ran up to the stage, all dressed up nicely, when it was at 7. But now I just walked up and it's at 14. But she ran up when it was 7. And, you know, we have to do what's good for our party. And she was up and I said, wow, she's doing like a speech like she won. She didn't win, she lost. And, you know, last week we had a little bit of a problem. And if you remember, Ron was very upset because she ran up and she pretended she won Iowa. And I looked around, I said, didn't she come in third? Yeah, she came in third. I felt I should do this because I find in life you can't let people get away with bullshit, okay? You can't. You just can't do that. And when I watched her in the fancy dress that probably wasn't so fancy come up, I said, what's she doing? We won. And she did the same thing last week, but he was much more angry about it than I was. I said, get up there and you let him know.
I mean, he has
angrier.
a point. You don't. It's good. I like the fact that he doesn't like people get away with bullshit. It's a good thing.
So it's interesting too, because I can already see people are like, polls are bullshit. Trump has this in the bag. Okay, I'm super glad that everybody is this optimistic. I'm not there yet. I'm obviously on Trump's side and I'm going to vote for him. But man, you look at polls also that show that Nikki Haley, because she would poll so many Democrats, would trounce Biden. Like she would absolutely beat him by so much. And Trump is, not beating him. He's losing by a tiny, tiny bit, it's a concern because now we're going to have this razor thin election again, which makes me crazy.
I'm just not convinced that Biden will be the guy. I'm just not convinced.
Which is even worse.
Yeah. I still feel I have this thing in the back of my mind that there's going to be something that happens to Biden. Cause I mean, are you kidding me? He can barely walk at this point.
Yeah.
So I just feel like there's going to be something that happens where I still feel like Gavin's going to be swooshed in there.
He'll be installed.
Yeah. Because the Democrats don't play by the rules anyway. They don't. They do install their candidate.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. They scream and moan about democracy. They don't give a shit about democracy. They do what they want and they install their candidate. So I still am waiting.
God, I hope that doesn't happen.
We have a long way to go, you guys.
Oh my God.
And he's not getting any younger.
Right.
In that long way. So I'm just waiting. We'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're going to hear from Jake Tapper's panel about Trump's victory speech because, of course, they picked up on the fact that he wasn't like, yay, unify. He was all, Nikki needs to get out.
And Aaron, I think, one of the things that's interesting about Donald Trump's performance this evening is he's mad. He's angry. That was not a celebratory Trump. He's angry that Nikki Haley is still in the race. Right. He was insulting her. He was insulting voters of New Hampshire. He was insulting the process of the primary system there, which has been going on for, it was going the same way back when Donald Trump was a Democrat. He went after the governor. This is not gracious, Donald Trump. I'm going to be the nominee. Come, let us all come together and heal. I am furious. Where's my hype man to do even more attacks against?
The people.
You know what? These people, the Jake Tappers of the world, didn't even acknowledge the Democratic other candidates. They didn't even acknowledge them. It's as if they're not even alive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they can suck it. They have the audacity to look at Republicans and be like, oh, he's being mean to these other people. Seriously, Jake Tapper? Seriously? I can't. Don't preach to us.
I know. It's
don't
ridiculous.
even do that. You don't even Biden didn't even acknowledge that there were other people in the democratic process. Whatever. Give me a break.
Well, and Jessica Tarlov, of course, honed in on the comment about the dress, right? So she was immediately mad about that and had all this other nonsense to say.
Well, I'm certainly not an advisor to the Trump campaign, but it is, we talk in the millions of votes when we're talking about the general election, but it actually comes down to the tens of thousands, right? The margins in Georgia, in Arizona, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, it's minute. Right. It can be the difference between whether you came out and you criticized your opponent's dress, which some could interpret as demeaning a woman, again, which is obviously something that he suffers from, or just making a little offhanded comment that someone says, you know what, I'm going to sit home, or actually, I want 4 more years of Joe Biden. So yes, it would be smart, as it always was when he was president, if he would listen to Kayleigh about this. But he has an uncontrollable narcissism and rage about him when he feels insulted. And it's appealing to the base. Is that we love it. He's a counterpuncher. But you've now lost a general election. You've presided over the loss of the Republican Senate, the Republican House, the abortion. It's been on the ballot 7 times. Democrats have swept it in all of that. And he has not moderated at all. And frankly, I don't think it's in him for him to be able to do it for more than 20 minutes.
Yikes.
Jessica,
I know,
Jessica,
she's exhausting.
Jessica.
But
Yeah,
is she
she's
100% wrong?
maybe
I
not
don't know.
100, maybe not 100%, but I do think that he's an equal opportunity criticizer. So
For
the dress thing, I'm like, he's not doing it because she's a woman. He's doing it because she's his opponent.
Right.
I mean, he'll go after somebody's suit. If it's a dude, he's going to go after Ron DeSantis's hair or whatever. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. If you're competing against him, it's on like Donkey Kong, man. And if you're not up for the challenge, get out of the race.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And don't bitch and moan if you're a woman and you're going up against Donald Trump and you can't handle the heat. Don't complain. That's how I feel as a woman. If you're going to get into politics, get a thick skin or don't get in it.
Yeah, and for sure. I mean, anybody who's competed against Trump knows that this is his style, this is his approach. But the question is, should it be? Is he losing people because of it? And I would argue that he probably is.
You know what? I would come back and make fun of him. I would be like, okay, well, what about your hair, old man? Or what about that? Learn to fight back or get out.
I'm not talking about the candidates. I'm talking about the voters. I'm saying, does that behavior turn off people that he needs to
obviously
vote
not
for him?
Obviously not because he won. I mean, he's gotten this far and he's won, and people
no, I'm
like him.
I'm talking about I'm not talking about a primary. I'm talking about a general. When he needs to gain as many votes as possible, isn't it time, perhaps, for him to tone this side of himself?
He probably will. Probably will. In a general, he probably will. I mean, the person he's going to direct his ire at will be Joe Biden, and who's going to defend that? It's like we all can't stand Joe Biden. He's got like a 30% approval rate at this point. So if you defend Joe Biden, then I don't know what to say to you because everything sucks right now. And so he's going to turn his attention to him. And I say, go get him. Go get him, Don.
And he's an easy target, which yeah. Rana, of course, is ready for Nikki to GTFO and said as much on one of the news stations.
Well, one thing I will say about the whole field of candidates that have run for president on our side, I commend them. They've been great. This has been a great contest, but I think there's some history that was made tonight. We have never had a nominee in our party that has won without winning winning either Iowa or New Hampshire. Donald Trump is the first ever to win both. I'm looking at the math and the path going forward, and I don't see it for Nikki Haley. I think she's run a great campaign. But I do think there is a message that's coming out from the voters, which is very clear. We need to unite around our eventual nominee, which is going to be Donald Trump. And we need to make sure we beat Joe Biden.
God, I just cannot stand her. The first thing he needs to do is just talk about how much she is a loser and get her out of there. Get somebody else in charge
because of him.
I know. And I can't stand that. It makes me crazy that he actually aligns himself with her. He needs to change course on that and be like, you know what? She's a loser. And he needs to just get Scott in there. Get somebody.
Well, and unfortunately, I guess fortunately for him, if he wants to distance himself from her, which he should, the war chest that the RNC has right now for the general is tiny.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I
is.
mean? Like, it's not like they can dangle all this money in front of him, say you have to be nice to Rana. Does he really need to be nice to Rana? I don't
No,
know.
he doesn't, which is precisely why you've got people, we're talking about bribes and all that kind of stuff today. I mean, it's like the RNC is just a big fat mess.
Oh my God.
Huge mess. And it's because
Politics
of people
is so
like her.
gross.
And so he would do himself a favor by distancing himself from people like her and Laura Looney. And, he needs to think about that. Somebody needs to be in his ear telling him that. I hope that they are.
Well, and I hope that everybody is sort of buckled in for this year, because as Dana Perino points out, this is actually going to be the longest election
Last
ever.
thing I'd point out, this is going to be the longest general election campaign in history. If they use all this hyperbole now, I don't know what they're going to say by next week.
I don't either, man. It's going to be such a long year.
Yeah, it is.
Gosh, it's going to be an exhausting.
It's going to be fun, though. We're going to do it together. We're all going to be together. So fun, you guys.
Shelly, thank you so much. Shelly says, I lived through Mean Girls. No desire to see them singing and dancing.
It's crazy.
Understood.
It's true. It's
and
true.
Meg Prescott, thank you. Meg says Haley was propped up by Democrats. Just saying. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But some people could argue that's exactly what would win the general, is because she would get so much crossover from Democrats.
Right.
So you can look at that from both directions. Michael Steller, thank you. Michael says, I don't get the polls, chicks. Hasn't Trump been leading Biden in swing states? Also, why would someone want 4 more years of the crap we've just gone through? That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it is a great question about the polls. It's so interesting and weird that they are completely different now, except it kind of, it makes me get my tinfoil hat on a little bit to think that in all of these pre-primary polls, people were saying, oh, yeah, I would totally vote for Trump in order to ensure that he would be the primary nominee. And now that he is, essentially, now the polls are starting to reflect reality of a general. I don't know. I hope that that's not the case, because we need him to win. My God, we need him to win. But it is super weird that all of a sudden there's been this shift when nothing has changed, except for it's more and more likely that he's the nominee.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
If your tinfoil hat theory is correct, it makes me think that they are going to slip somebody else in there.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like a Gavin. And if that happens, oh my God. People will say, but he's so dumb. He's awful. And he's like done such a piss poor job in California. There are so many stupid people out there, you guys.
Oh my God.
So many stupid people. And he just knows people. He just lies.
Oh, and he's so good at it. He's so slick and slimy and sleazy.
Used car salesman-iest of the used car salesman is what he is.
Yes, totally. Oh God, he's the worst of the worst. You guys, if you have not yet tried the brand new Gen 90 product from Genucel, what they are saying, what the folks at Genucel are saying, is that this product is 2 generations ahead and better than any of the immediate effects products, years ahead of the entire skincare market. This is their brand new anti-wrinkle, like immediately remove wrinkle product. It's kind of amazing, and there's like you can feel it working immediately. Like you put it on and you feel a cold tingle, and this thing is like it's making you.
And you can use it on your forehead. You use it like anywhere you have little lines or whatever. It's fantastic stuff.
It's remarkable stuff. And it's included right now. You can receive the brand new Gen 90 with every most popular package for over 70% off. You just need to go to genucel.com/chicks and you can save today and try the new Gen 90. It's kind of amazing, you guys.
It's
so
obviously what Demi Moore is using.
It has to be
it's what she's using.
Has to be. Genucel.com/chicks. All right, let's get into some of this poll stuff and some of the weird stuff that's happening. So there was, for example, just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, here was a headline from Politico just yesterday. Trump is bleeding moderate support, and it could cost him the 2024 election. This is now going to be the theme from here henceforth and forthwith. This is what we're going to be seeing.
Okay, but where's the data on that? I want to see the data.
Well, there are polls. Like if you click through to the link, they're showing the polls, and it's true. All these polls are shifting, and that's what is so weird to me.
That's what
they're so different.
I just don't trust anybody, Mock. And who are moderates? Who are these people? Who are you?
The people that vote, the Democrats, for example, who want Nikki Haley, or the people who just can't begin to imagine voting for Trump again on the right, who are like, I'll just like literally I'll take anybody else. Or there's people like this guy that you're about to see who is a Republican. And
I actually voted for Nikki. I really didn't know Trump's had some good stuff, but he's got too much baggage. So I didn't go with Trump. I almost voted Biden, but I'm a Republican.
What?
I mean, I think
Why would
This
you
is
write in
the
Biden?
problem.
You're a Republican. You're going to write in Biden. Who are you?
but he exists in the world. You know what I mean?
Like
this is my fear.
How bad does it have to get, dude? Are you okay? Like what? Oh my God, I need 5 minutes with that guy. Like what? Seriously, I just don't understand these people. Seriously, how does your house need to be set on fire? Like for you to understand how bad, because everything around you's on fire. So
Right.
does your house need to catch on fire too? Because I don't who are these people? I don't
He's the
get it.
dog in the meme of the burning house. That's like,
Yes.
this is fine.
He is. Everything's fine. I'm going to vote for Biden again. What in the holy hell?
Or Biden for the first time, and then it's like, you heard him. He almost was like, well, I almost wrote in Biden, but I'm a Republican. Like he had to remind himself of what side of the aisle he's on. So, I mean, people are idiots. They are absolute idiots. And this is my fear, is that there's a lot of them.
I mean, that should be a fear for everybody, is that there's just stupidity is rampant in this country. It's everywhere. And stupidity breeds.
Unfortunately, that is true. Here is Manu Manu guy.
Manu Ragu.
With some analysis of the numbers from last night.
It's going to be true at the same time. One, he could be having a night that he's going to win the New Hampshire, that he could be on his way to winning the nomination, but also could raise real warning signs about his viability as a general election candidate. That number about undeclared voters, 66% of undeclared voters supporting Haley, just 32% for Donald Trump. That is something that the Trump campaign needs to pay attention to if he is indeed the nominee. Just in 2016, he won undeclared voters in New Hampshire in the primary over a much more crowded field. In that crowded field, he took about 36% of the crowded field. He only got 32% in a two-person race. It shows you the challenges that he is facing here. But not only that, 88% of Haley supporters say they'd be disappointed if he were the nominee. 47% don't believe he'd be fit to be president if he were convicted of a crime. All of these things they need to be clearly worried about, regardless of how he does, regardless if he wins the nomination, and things they need to work on if you were to broaden his impact.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Somebody made a comment though, and I'm sorry I didn't catch your name, about how people will say the baggage comment, like it's Trump has so much baggage, and then they said, well, what about Biden? Does Biden not have baggage?
Oh my God.
I mean, it's something that we don't discuss enough.
Right.
That guy has got like a literal truck full of baggage.
But
and
if he's not the guy,
what do you mean?
If Biden's not the guy,
well,
he's not the one that, you know what I mean, that we have to worry about.
It's a great point. But going in right now, tunnel vision. Yeah. It's a two-man. If we're looking at a two-man race between Trump, a rematch between Trump and Biden. You can't just say that Trump has all the baggage. Come on.
Well,
man.
yeah, with those two, I mean, it's pretty neck and neck.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of baggage in Biden's lap too, for crying out loud. And then you've got his record. You look at the two records and there's just no comparison at all.
Well, and then when Trump is at his best, man, is he ever good. I don't know if this was a rally that was held before the election, but this is the Trump that I love.
I will immediately restore and expand the Trump travel ban on entry from terror-plagued countries, and I will implement strong ideological screening for all immigrants. If you hate America, if you want to abolish Israel, if you sympathize with jihadists, then we don't want you in our country. We don't want you.
That's right. I love that. I love that so
right?
much. Yeah, and
the
then
stuff
the
we
Jake
need to see
Tappers
more
of
of.
the world are like, he's anti-immigrant. Oh my God. I can't.
I know.
With these
It
people.
makes me insane.
It's
It
like, can we
makes me
please
insane.
educate you on the difference between immigrant, illegal immigrant? There's a difference.
Very, very different.
Yeah.
Very different.
Mhm.
Now, Dean Phillips had some very nice things to say about Trump supporters. And I thought that this was interesting coming from someone who is trying to beat Biden, but also makes sense because he wants to be that unifying candidate. Here's what he said about folks that he met at a Trump rally.
We have a crisis of participation. And I got to tell you guys, I went to a Donald Trump rally a couple nights ago. Never been to one. I had an event across the street. I saw the line of people waiting in the cold for hours. And I thought, what the heck? You know, I'm going to be a leader who actually invites people, doesn't condemn them. Met probably 50 Trump people waiting in line. Every single one of them, thoughtful, hospitable, friendly. All of them so frustrated that they feel nobody's listening to them but Donald Trump. A diverse crowd, people who had never been to a Trump event before. My party is completely delusional right now.
See, this is what I was talking about. I think it was yesterday when he went on Fox, when he went on Cavuto's show. And he is reasonable. The guy's reasonable. It's like, he's like, I'm listening to you. I want to reach across the aisle. I want to talk to people. He is, he was talking about how he's the party, I think it was like of JFK and all that kind of stuff. Like he wants to be, he's the Clinton guy. He goes, I want to be the Clinton Democrat, and go back to that time. He's very reminiscent, this guy. And so he wants to appeal to those people. I guess that demo, those people who remember those times, which I don't know if he wants to actually, conjure up images of Clinton, but you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if that's the right guy, but the thing is that he is at least somewhat reasonable. And what people are going, well, that's weird. It's like, it's weird. We're not used to seeing a reasonable Democrat. And I mean, he's never going to win, you guys. No. But it is interesting that he went to a Trump rally, because how many Democrats do you know are willing to go into a Trump rally and talk to people who are pro-Trump
and then report back positively?
Right. And that was nice. I'll give him props. That was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Barbara Trammell, thank you. Barbara says, I think it's a mind game. They want Nikki because she's almost as disliked as Kamala. And Robin Zecca, thank you. Robin says, we need mandatory debates. These two face-to-face could be pay-per-view. Oh, my God. They have to debate. They have to.
Yes, totally.
They have to. Because if they debate, then it'll be more of Joe Biden on display saying things that make no sense, like this.
Teach Donald Trump a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the women in America unless you want to get the benefit.
I'm sorry. What?
Don't mess with the women. Don't. What are
unless
women?
you want to get the benefit?
Is
that
what
said?
Is it?
We have to do that again.
The women.
We have to do it again.
Okay.
Valuable lesson. Don't mess with the women in America unless you want to get the benefit.
Get the benefit. What benefit is that, Joe? What is it? Lori's like, Corn Pop has entered the chat. I love that, Lori. What a dip crap this guy is. I swear. He has no idea what he's saying. No idea.
No idea.
And then Trump's like, ooh, I feel threatened.
I know, so
threatened
scary.
by you. Okay.
And then apparently Joe Biden decided to be an election denier as well last night in this same speech. Check this out.
Hello, Virginia. And the real governor, Terry McAuliffe.
Wait a second. I didn't think we were.
What?
I love Glenn Youngkin's response.
Isn't
so
that
great.
perfect?
Hello.
Like, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Real guy right here. I'm the real governor. Hello. Yeah. But I thought we weren't supposed to deny elections. I thought that was really bad. I thought we got in trouble for that, even though there's so many people on that side of the aisle who have done it. Hillary Clinton, Stacey Abrams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Glenn Youngkin's response was perfect. Just to say, hello, I'm right here. But it is, everybody, even on the Democrat side, knows how much of a liability Biden is for this entire election process. And Van Jones had a suggestion for Biden and how he should proceed with this campaign. He just says all the things, and
if
I
I were
love it.
Biden, I would stay hidden, and I'll tell you why. He doesn't inspire confidence, and he's not a great messenger for himself.
He's not. I mean, he said it out loud.
If I were Biden, I would just go away. I mean, like it's like the first campaign. I mean, it's like his initial, seriously, because he was in the basement. He didn't campaign the first time. We all know that. He never came out of the basement because we all know that Obama's running the country. Let's all get real. So this is just the second time around. Of course, they're going to hide him. They don't want him to debate because it will be, oh my God, a colossal disaster. But God, I hope it happens. I hope it happens.
I know. Oh my gosh. And in the meantime, they're trotting out Kamala more and more. And so now, of course, this is the Democrat narrative switch to abortion, abortion, abortion. Let's focus on what we know can make women angry and drive them out to vote for Biden. So Kamala's been hitting the stage pretty hard to talk about abortion. Here is the latest event.
A couple weeks ago, he said that for years, quote, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, but he said, quote, I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Here's where she gets shrill.
Proud? Proud? Proud that women across our nation are suffering? Proud that women have been robbed of a fundamental freedom? Proud that doctors could be thrown in prison for caring for their patients, that young women today have fewer rights than their mothers and grandmothers? How dare he?
Oh God. It's just, she practiced that in front of the mirror. How dare he?
Proud?
I know, right?
My God.
Yeah.
She was also I don't know if it was right after she gave this proud, shrill speech that one reporter who was talking to her, we showed a clip from the same interview, maybe yesterday even. This reporter, the way that she fawns over Kamala in this clip is enough to make you want to hurl. But she's basically saying, people are trying to say that you're not qualified. And how do you respond to these vicious, sexist attacks? Just listen to the fawning.
I'll ask you one more question. I'm struck just in your presence. I was watching you on stage, watching the reactions from the crowd, looking you in the eye with your passion that you are displaying and talking about so many issues. And yet you hear candidates suggesting that a vote for President Biden because of his age is somehow a vote for you. And that is hurled as an insult. It's intended to demonstrate some negative viewpoint towards you. What is your reaction to this thought that with your background in particular, with your career, that there is some thought that you are incapable?
Well, I think that most women who have risen in their profession, who are leaders in their profession, have had similar experiences. I was the first woman to be elected district attorney. I was the first woman to be elected attorney general of the state of California, and I'm the first woman to be vice president. And I love my job.
Oh my God.
I know. I just can't. I cannot with her.
She's
I'm standing here
unburdened.
in your presence and I'm just in awe of your eyeballing the audience. And oh my God.
And
nauseating.
Kamala's unburdened by it. I swear to God, that woman is just,
I know.
It's amazing that there are women who actually still see her as some sort of a role model.
It's like they have never listened to her actually talk.
Or any other women for that matter.
Right.
Just by comparison. Oh my God.
Teresa Raimundo says she was unburdened by self-awareness.
Right.
Yeah. She's always
so
unburdened by
unburdened.
that. Now that DeSantis is out of the race, he has been ramping up sort of his outspokenness on his own Twitter feed, I've noticed over the last couple days. And one of the things that he's getting some flack for among Trump supporters is that there is a Republican in his state legislature that is trying to introduce a bill that would require Florida taxpayers to cover some of Trump's legal expenses. And if I were a Florida taxpayer, I would be furious that this is even a thought. Like I pay enough taxes. I don't want to be on the hook for Trump's legal bills. People donate to that as much as they want. I should not be required as a taxpayer to cover them. And so, and obviously Democrats would be furious. Can you imagine if this was reversed, if this was Biden's legal bills and some Democrat was going to force you as a taxpayer to cover them? F that. You know what I mean? This is not a taxpayer responsibility. So when the Republican in the legislature brought it up, DeSantis tweeted about it. And so Politico wrote, some Florida Republicans want taxpayers to pay Trump's legal bills. And DeSantis made it very clear that will not see the light of day. And he said, not the Florida Republican who wields the veto pen. So he was getting talked about quite a bit after that tweet.
Yeah, we shouldn't be paying. I'm not responsible for anybody's legal bills.
No, absolutely not.
No.
And so he's right on this once again. There's also, he brought up a great point in an interview. It was like sort of a post-mortem interview about his whole campaign. And one of the things, and he's absolutely right about this, that will not happen no matter who wins the general, there will never be accountability for COVID. And that sucks. You know what I mean? And he was actually the only person that was talking about that during the primary campaign. Here he is kind of explaining the thought process behind that.
There were, the regrets I have about kind of how 24 is turning out is I don't see at the federal level there being any avenue for COVID accountability. I think that, you're going to have two major candidates that just want to pretend like everything was hunky dory. And I know in both of those presidents made serious mistakes. And here's the thing. It's not about using it for fodder in a political campaign. It's about ensuring that this never happens to our country ever again.
I do worry about that. Like that little evil goblin who we played yesterday, nothing's going to happen to him.
No.
Nothing's going to happen to anybody.
Oh my God, he still gets a pension. We're paying for his retirement. Are you kidding me? And it's an awesome retirement. It's an awesome pension. Nothing's ever happened to him. I hope you guys are working hard so you can pay for that. Because he's living high on the hog, that little troll. Nothing will happen. In fact, he's still in talks about like the future of our public health. He's still involved in that. He's still involved in the public health realm. He shouldn't even be anywhere near it. And he's still there. It's astounding to me. Like people still have respect for that guy. Gross. It's completely gross. And no, I absolutely agree when it comes to like the fact that there's still stuff coming down that I believe that there's another something in the work. Something's coming. Like there's going to be more of that. That whole the pandemic, what happened to us before, all the COVID stuff, it was just like a trial run. At least you may think that I'm wearing a tinfoil hat and that's fine. People can call me crazy, but I don't think that was just it wasn't the end of it. There's going to be more of it coming. It's like they wanted to see just how far they could control us. And they did control a lot of people.
It's another fear of Biden winning, right? Is that, he totally would be like Mr. Mandate. He would do all the same things again.
Totally.
Hopefully Trump would have learned and would not make those same mistakes. Whether he ever accepts any blame or responsibility, no, he clearly won't. But hopefully he would not do the same things. He's saying now that he would never shut down the country again. I hope that that's really true. And
I would hope that Republican governors would do that. I mean, it's not just, I hope it wouldn't just be like 2 or 3 governors that wouldn't have balls.
Right.
I'd hope that it would be all the Republican governors across the country that would actually have them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to the Kari Lake stuff because, man, that is some explosive things that happened with Kari Lake yesterday. And first of all, thank you, Robin Zecca, who says, interesting turn of phrase, terminate their rights. Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting that you picked up on that from the Kamala audio. Mm-hmm. So in case you haven't heard, Kari Lake There's audio that has broken out yesterday of a conversation that Kari Lake was having with the Arizona State GOP chair, a guy by the name of Jeff DeWitt. And clearly, this conversation was happening at Kari Lake's home. I can only assume she decided to record this conversation because nothing else makes sense. And she's even been quoted to say something like, when she was made this bribe, essentially, she wanted to throw her dog at Jeff or whatever, but her dog is a pug and it would not have made any difference. But in any case, this guy was putting some major pressure on her to bow out of the Senate race, of just being in politics altogether. And whoever he was talking about, whatever client of his he's talking about, who's making this bribe to her, was not named. I don't know who it is. But he is the messenger. And this is ostensibly, I don't have confirmation, but I can only make the assumption that Kari Lake purposefully recorded this conversation and therefore looks like an absolute angel in it. Here's the first part.
Is there a number at which
I can be bought?
not be bought?
That's what it's about.
You can take a pause for a couple of years.
No.
And then go right back to what you're doing.
No. 10 million, 20 million, 30, no. A billion, no. This is not about money. This is about our country. I think it's disturbing that they would even, that anybody would think this is.
No, to be fair, even me, I'll say this. I want a fresh face right now for the reason that I've never seen anyone, I can't think of a single person in a federal race who lost, ran in and won. I can't think of it. If you can think of it, let me know.
I'm not going to let these people who hate our country tell me not to run. You should call them and tell them to get behind.
So that's part one. I mean, this was a 10-minute recording, by the way, and I only have a total of 3 minutes. So this is obviously condensed, and you can listen to the entire clip, and you should, for the full context. But it is interesting. So, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, Kari Lake, what a woman of integrity. Would she have said these things had she not knowingly been recording herself? I don't know the answer to that.
She probably would have said
she would.
She would have said similar things, maybe not as eloquently, but she probably would have said similar things. Yeah. I think she may not have thrown in like the 10 billion, 20 billion, you know what I mean? Like she may not have thrown in like the monetary figure, you know what I mean? I think she added some flowery language knowing that she was recording it. Because
it's very, it's just really, really interesting how adamant she is about, not ever even considering such an offer. I want to believe that that's real, but I just don't know, because this wasn't a situation where she was caught on tape by somebody else, right? This was all taking place at her house. So I don't know. I think the question needs to be asked. Here's the second part where she's talking about how immoral it would be for her to even entertain an idea like this.
I'm not even sure Trump can win again. I don't know that he can win again. I think what it really comes down to for a lot of people, it's not really about like control or agenda. It's just about the ability to raise money to win. If you really want to know, all of politics boils down to money, I think. And even on their end, like what makes them the most money.
I know all these consultants don't want their payday to end, and I don't want to make a deal with these kind of people. This is a hill worth dying on. I'm not. If they're going to steal the election to make me and our movement go away, I'm not letting them do that. I owe it to the people of Arizona.
Or
to carry their torch and their voice.
Or you don't go away, but you pause.
This is the battles right now, Jeff.
God, this is amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah,
this is so shady.
It's so disgusting. Yeah, it's like this happens on our side of the aisle. It happens on their side. It happens everywhere. Local politics is so gross. I freaking hate it. It's all about the money, you guys. It's all about the money and these smarmy consultants. And it's true. She's talking about like their payday ending and everything. And yeah, and somebody made a great point. If it wasn't real, then she would have not recorded it and she would have taken the check. And nobody
That's
would have,
true.
and nobody would have cared, and nobody would have known about it. You know what I mean? She just would have been somewhere in the I guess not even the movement, but somewhere in the party down the road, and she would have been handed some sort of position somewhere, because this is what they do. They would have been like, well, we'll give you whatever in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and you can have this position and we'll give you X amount of dollars. And people do this all the time. And
Yeah.
they do this. So I think it's real. I think
That's a great point.
I think she just was like, I'm going to add some language in here to make sure that people understand how disgusting politics and how politicians are just gross. And this is what they do. And it's all about money, and it's all about posturing, and it's all about putting people where it's just a big chess game for these people. That's what it is. It's not about the people. It's not about you. It's not about me, when it should be about you and me, because that's what our founders wanted. And I truly believe that she wants that. You know, she's like, okay, this is what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people would have taken the money. A lot of people would have been like, I'm not going to record this. I'm just going to take the money, because then they could have retired and had a nice life. You know?
Well, here, and there's a couple more clips of that. This next one is, I think, the one that I thought I was just about to play. So here's where she's talking about how immoral it would be to even entertain the offer.
I couldn't look at myself in the mirror if I, you know.
It's very powerful people that are willing to, they really want someone different. They want new names, whatever it is.
So they want Jim Lehman, that's a new name?
No, actually, that's not even, that's a possibility, but they're even asking me like,
I know, they've got all these new names, and I'm going to beat each and every one of them. Sorry, Jeff, take it back to them.
Oh.
I gotta get working. I love you, but I gotta get working.
All right, I appreciate it.
I'm just, can't believe this.
Hey, again, be honored. Instead of them just, look,
God.
Instead of just them working to beat you,
yeah,
they're trying to, like...
This is about getting Trump out.
Listen, I like the whole be honored thing. I'd be like, suck a bag, man. Like, be honored about what? That it is a chess game, and they're telling you where to go, even at the local level. Like, I try to get involved here at the local level, and I don't like it. I don't like politics, because you can tell people, this is what I want to do. I want to be on a school board. I want to do this. I want to do. They tell you where to go. They like the powers that be, because there's like, because it is like these people. There is like a level of power. Even at the local level, at the state level, and then at the federal level, there's some semblance of power, and they tell you this is where you're going to go. We don't want you at this place. We want to put you here. And unless you have a shit ton of money, it's like you don't stand a chance in politics. You just don't stand a chance.
Gross.
And that's why normal people do not run for office. That's why normal people are like, you know what, screw this. And they don't do it. And then they do what we do instead, because
we need normal people.
Yeah, we need normal people, but I don't have a shit ton of money. I don't have a ton of money. I'm never going to run for office, because I'm not going to do it. And then when you do get into it, you have situations like that happen.
Right.
I'd throw my dog at him. My dog's a Great Dane. It would do some damage.
Well, and what's interesting too about him is that he's genuinely scared of the consequences of this getting out. Like because you'll hear in this next clip where she's like, you should publicize this. Like, you should tell everybody what's going on. And he's like, no, I don't want my car to be bombed, essentially.
But they can't have me in the governor's office, because then we're going to root out some of this corruption.
But again, it's like,
you know what it is? The people don't get to choose their elected officials unless they're pre-approved by the swamp. And the swamp doesn't pre-approve of me.
You need a strong party to help.
I think you should go public with this and then say, hey,
no.
These people don't want to, they don't want,
And then I turn my key in my car and I go,
oh my God.
I like my car.
Tell them I'm not flattered. I'm offended that
Don't tell anybody we had this conversation.
I'm offended that they don't care about our country more.
I actually wish you'd just give me a counter offer that's big. Give me a counter.
I can't be bought.
Come on.
I can't.
All right, I'll see you.
Okay, bye-bye.
If you're in a position where you're offering people bribes, or you've gotten yourself wedged into that sort of a position, you need to look in the mirror and say, I'm not doing what the founders intended me to do in politics. I need to GTFO and maybe go become a welder or something, do something positive with my life. Like he needs to, the fact that he's like, I'm afraid I'm going to be offed for this. Seriously, dude, like, wow, reassess your life, man. And like we all are looking at this. All of us in here are looking at this going, God, this is the state of our politics. Like our founders did not intend for this.
Right.
That's not what we're all about. This is so un-American. It's gross.
Well, and there's obviously, including from Kari herself, there's lots of calls for him to step down from the state party chairmanship. He has not made any comment. Like his office is not making any comment, and I don't know what's going to happen. I would think that he's not going to get to keep his job.
Yeah, that's not just him.
Hopefully we'll find out who's making the bribes.
Right. It's not just him though, Mock. That's what sucks about this. Like that guy, okay, he may just look like the bad guy here, but it's a whole slew of people.
Yeah.
And I hope he names names. Get rid of all of them. It's like the whole notion of draining the swamp. The swamp is huge. There's a ton of them. Like there's a ton of people that are pulling his strings. It's all gross. It's so gross.
So gross. Oh my God. It's just vile. Absolutely vile. You guys, I hope you're like buckled in because this is gonna be a long show. We still have so much more to get to. And I told Daisy, I did peg that right this time. Usually I'm like super off. I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like a normal size show, and it goes on forever.
I'm like, it's never a short show ever.
It's a long show today because now we also need to talk about border stuff. Texas, the whole fight between Texas and the federal government heating up, and so too our stories about terrible, horrible, terrifying people being in our country from crossing the border illegally. That guy that we showed yesterday, the real threatening, menacing Iranian guy, turns out he's a total terrorist. So we're letting in like the worst of the worst. And here's another example.
Fox News alert: a convicted killer escaping Colombia, entering the U.S. as a getaway, making his way to the outskirts of New York City. His capture just the latest as ICE agents look for needles in haystacks. Griff Jenkins live in D.C. with the latest on the quest to track him down. Hi, Griff.
Hey, Dana, good morning. And this is why the border officials put so much emphasis, Dana, on gotaways, meaning these illegal crossers seen or observed by Border Patrol but not apprehended. They're different than the give-ups you see in places like Eagle Pass because we don't know who they are, where they're from. And in many cases, Dana, they're seeking to evade apprehension simply because they are criminals, like this Colombian man you're talking about, convicted of murder in his home country, now arrested by ICE in Newark, New Jersey. He was serving a 22-year sentence in Colombia, never returned from a 3-day furlough in 2018, made his way to the U.S., illegally crossed and entered, and became a getaway because they didn't get him. It was at an unknown time and location. Now, he had previously been arrested by authorities in New Jersey for simple assault and making terroristic threats, so there was a record on him.
I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, well, they know exactly what they're doing. The Democrats know exactly what they're doing. And then when we try to stop them, they're like, take that razor wire down. It's mean.
Right? So
It's
Kirby
mean.
got asked about that from Peter Doocy yesterday. And you can even, like, you can kind of, we're starting to see enough of Kirby that I feel like you can actually see on his face in this clip that he knows full well that what he is saying is utter bullshit. Like,
Right.
even he doesn't believe himself. And credit to Peter Doocy for asking the question in the way that he did. It was perfect.
Why are you guys making it easier for people to enter the country illegally?
Yeah.
I believe we are. Why do you think we are?
Well, you guys sued to cut razor wire that was put in place by Texas officials.
So that the Border Patrol could actually do their jobs.
Oh my God.
Keep going.
Well, you won in court. So now what? The Border Patrol Union president is saying the Supreme Court's decision is going to undoubtedly encourage more illegal immigration.
That's Border
Do you guys know better than the Border Patrol Union?
The Border Patrol needed access, and that's why we sued to get rid of that razor wire so that they could do their jobs. And you know what would also help them do their jobs, Peter? more Border Patrol agents. There's an idea. And if you go back to the supplemental request that we put in, there's money in there for some 1,300 additional Border Patrol agents. We want to help them do their jobs. We want to give them more resources. And the answer we keep getting back from House Republicans is no, no, no.
Oh my God. The border control, the president was like, he negated everything he just said. and then Kirby continues to lie.
But
It's
you
like,
can tell he didn't even believe himself.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, but how can they look themselves in the mirror? How can they sleep at night doing this? Who are these people?
Politics is gross, just like you said. Politics is gross.
Sell your
you know
soul,
what?
man.
Texas is standing firm, and they were even putting up more razor wire in response to this order to take it all down.
Rock on.
Bravo to Governor Abbott, who tweeted, "This is not over. Texas's razor wire is an effective deterrent to the illegal crossings Biden encourages."
Yes.
And so they are standing their ground. And so according to Chris Olivares, he said the state of Texas will maintain its current posture in deterring illegal border crossings by utilizing effective border security measures, reinforced wire and anti-climb barriers along the Rio Grande. The logical concern should be why the federal government continues to hinder Texas's ability to protect its border, all while allowing for the exploitation, dangerous, and inhumane methods of permitting illegals, including children, to illegally cross a dangerous river where many have lost their lives. Texas is the only state using every strategy and resource to protect its sovereignty, combat criminal activity, and discourage illegal immigration. Texas will hold the line.
Hold the line, Texas. Screw this administration. Yeah, why is that? We should be asking the question. Everybody should be asking the question, why are they trying to undermine that? Why are they trying to do that? Why are they encouraging law breaking? Why are they encouraging terrorists to cross our border? Why are they encouraging that? Why? Ask the question. Why? Go, Texas, go.
I know. I love it. Absolutely love it. And meanwhile, what we've been speculating about for weeks and weeks, which is that there's going to come a point where you're going to hear a lot more chitter chatter about people giving up their homes, rooms in their homes to house migrants. And that's exactly what we heard from a Naperville, Chicago, which is a super hoity-toity part of Chicago suburbs. Naperville, Illinois, one of the representatives there was actually saying, hey, let's start a sign-up sheet. We're going to start a sign-up sheet for people who want to take illegals in. Here, listen. I mean, this was just incredible. It's happening more and more and more and more.
I do know that there's a lot of people that do care. And I think we live in a compassionate community. So, before we go down the road of, doing what, following suit on some of these other cities are taking action on. My idea would be let's find out. Let's find out who's willing to help. We do hear from constituents on both sides of this. What are we going to do to preemptively stop this? And then we hear from people that tell us we should do more. So, we do have a very affluent community, a lot of big homes, and what I'd like to do is direct staff to create a sign-up sheet. So, for individuals that would be willing to house migrant families. And if there's people that would do that, God bless them. So if we could raise awareness in that way, I think we need to find out. I think we need to find out who would be willing to house migrant families. And
he's not raising his hand.
That would be my new business. I'd be looking for support from the dais. Any questions, discussion, happy to have that.
Okay, so I put this on our Instagram yesterday, and people were telling me that he is, in fact, like calling their bluff. He's actually being kind of sarcastic here, and he's
really?
Yeah, he's calling everybody's bluff. Nobody signed up. It's a bunch of rich people in that area. And he's like, oh, come on. I mean, you're compassionate. You're liberal. It's a very liberal area. Very liberal. You guys know them. You know all the people. In fact, I think there should be some sort of a, one of those Facebook circles around your face that everybody had in COVID, all those smug people that you knew on Facebook. There's like, oh my God, I got vaccinated. There should be one of those for taking illegals into your house because you voted for this crap. You know people who voted for Biden, all your liberal friends that have big ass McMansions, and they have like 2 guest rooms. So why aren't they just clamoring to take these people into their homes? I know people from college that did this, and they lectured to me about, oh, Trump, you're one of those weird Trumpers. Okay, pony up, Becky. Like, why aren't you taking these people into your home? And put a little thing around your face saying, I took in a migrant, an illegal. I took in an illegal because I'm better than you. Why aren't they doing this? I mean, Facebook
because they like to talk about making things sanctuary, but they don't want to actually hold the sanctuary.
Right. It's the reservation thing. They want to make the reservation, but not actually have the reservation. Exactly.
Right.
This is the thing. These people are full of crap. It's like
they are full of crap.
It's FAFO all over again. Yeah, you guys wanted this, so
unfortunately,
make it happen.
It's impacting people who don't want it, and it's impacting airports. And it wasn't just, I know we've seen pictures recently, I think of Chicago O'Hare being like overrun or having like a whole terminal set aside for like illegals to sleep in. It's also happening at Logan Airport in Boston.
Dozens of migrants lined up, sleeping on the floor of Terminal E at Logan Airport. WBZ's Louisa Mueller is live for us at the State House tonight. Louisa, the video that we just showed was taken just a few days ago. So are the migrants still there at the airport?
David, I am told they are back there tonight, but they weren't there this morning when I visited. The migrants have told my contacts themselves that they're getting on buses and leaving during the day and coming back in the evening. So we asked lawmakers, is there a coordinated effort to move the migrants during the day? And what does that cost? And their answers were somewhat ambiguous.
Yeah. Shocker. The ambiguity. It's so shocking. What, they don't have a plan? Right? They don't have a plan? What?
Who would have seen that coming?
Oh my God. Shocked by this.
Meg Prescott, thank you again. Meg says this is such a House of Cards moment. I think she was referring back to the Kari Lake stuff.
Yes,
and
totally.
It does so feel like that. Absolutely. Okay. Interesting clip, and also very, very, very well put together. I'm not sure who did this, but there's a fellow by the name, I've never heard of this guy, and I guess I'm super out of touch, but there's a fellow on the left by the name of Stephen Bonnell who goes by Destiny. That's what he goes by. I know. But he is essentially the left's Ben Shapiro. And I'm very, very excited because this afternoon I plan to listen to Lex Friedman's new podcast where he has Destiny debating Ben Shapiro.
Oh my gosh.
And so I am dying to watch that. And so it's out. I think it came out yesterday and I'm dying to watch it. But that's neither here nor there. Destiny apparently is one of those people who insists that what happened on January 6th was like so much an insurrection. It was a literal coup. That's how he describes it. And Glenn Greenwald had the best response to that entire January 6th insurrection argument. It is beautiful. And the way that, I don't know who put this together, this video, the way that they did it is awesome. You're going to love this.
If this were a coup, why didn't Trump order the military to seize control of the power and turn over the election process to him? Why didn't he order the armed factions that form the law enforcement part of the military and the executive branch that serve under his command to do that as well? That's what happens in a coup. That didn't happen here because Trump wasn't trying to perpetrate a coup. On top of that, none of the videotapes that were available was made available to the public except for very deceitfully chosen snippets. And it was only within the last several months that we saw all of the video footage. And what it showed makes a joke of the idea that this was a coup. If he had ordered the military or some other FBI or any of those agencies, the CIA, to go and use violence on domestic soil in order to ignore those court rulings the way people do when they're trying to implement coups, you would have a good argument. He didn't do any of that. He invoked all of his legal rights in the judiciary and in the Congress. He lost and he walked out of the White House on January 20th. He did not have to be dragged out. He wasn't arrested by the military, which is what happens in coups. So much of this is because you only started paying attention to politics in 2016. You only live in the United States. You have no idea about history or anything that happens in other countries. You have no idea what a coup is. The reason it matters, Destiny, is because if you're going to make arguments, there has to be an important test, which is, do you apply the same principles you're claiming to profess and believe in to cases where it undermines your partisan allegiance and your ideology? not only where it helps it. That's one of the key tasks for determining the authenticity of your argument. And so if you don't think the 2020 protest movement was an insurrectionary movement against the United States government, there's no way to claim what January 6th was, especially since Trump could have done so much more to cause a coup that he did not do because that wasn't his aim ever.
Oh, my neck! You got knocked the fuck out, man!
That was so beautiful.
Wasn't it just the
It was.
greatest?
It was a thing of beauty. Okay, now I know who Destiny is. Destiny.
Yeah. I had no idea until
was-
that clip, and I was like, I got
Yeah.
it. And now I saw Lex Friedman post that he had those two on to debate, and I'm like, oh my god, I cannot wait to watch that.
wait to see that.
Yeah, I mean, incredible.
That's gonna be a beatdown.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a huge ass beatdown.
Why would he agree to that? Oh my
He's very, very confident. Very
Masochist.
confident.
Okay.
Big news yesterday too that Canada's highest court has determined that all of the actions that Trudeau took against those trucker riots, or not trucker riots, but trucker protests in Canada. Remember when he was like seizing bank accounts and he was
Right.
just absolutely awful. So the court has determined his actions were utterly and completely unconstitutional. That was big news that broke yesterday.
Yeah.
So here is some Canadian representative who is an unbearably slow talker reacting to this news.
So we are aware of the court decision. We have discussed it with the Prime Minister, with cabinet colleagues, with senior federal government officials and experts. We respect very much Canada's independent judiciary. However, we do not agree with this decision.
Oh, really?
And respectfully, we will be appealing it.
Yeah. So it was the
Spit it out.
1988. It was the 1988 Emergencies Act. He's the only one in Canada's history to invoke it. And now people are like, okay, so he should resign and we should have another election. And I'm all for
Go
that.
Pierre. Go
I
Pierre.
think-
Go Pierre. Go Pierre.
Right. That's what they're, and I think that would be amazing. I think they should totally do that. He's a complete like dictator, this guy.
Yeah.
He's out
The
of
worst
control.
of the worst.
Completely out of control. And I hope that they do that. I hope Canada does that. It'd be fantastic.
There was a moment too where, completely irrespective of that ruling, there was a reporter who was asking him. I love this clip so much, but a reporter went after him about how he spent his Christmas break.
Oh my God.
And did you see this?
I did. It was
Oh my
fantastic.
God.
It was just it was a thing of beauty. I wish our press was more like this.
I mean, his discomfort. I just feed off of it. I love
So great.
it. I
love it.
love how uncomfortable he is.
Next morning, Marika Walsh with the Globe and Mail. You just laid out the tough economic times that Canadians are facing. You say you're seized with the issue. Did you consider that backdrop when you decided to take an $80,000 free vacation?
As many Canadians did, I stayed with friends over the holidays.
Many Canadians don't have access to a $90,000 free vacation. So can you just explain a bit more the thinking as to why you take these vacations and how you think Canadians receive them?
Like many Canadians did, I stayed with family friends over the holidays.
Next question.
Oh my God, he is just visibly he's like shitting his pants. And I'm so there. I'm so there. Yeah, because you guys take $90,000 vacations, don't you? You take those.
Totally. Every other day.
I have so many friends that are with yachts. I just
Right. Who doesn't?
Totally. And you guys all do that. Oh God. Like crap in his pants right there.
Oh my God. And then
great.
I think that you got this video about this. I think it's a Wisconsin medical student who, I mean, you guys, the absolute state of medicine right now.
Yeah,
Listen
and not only
to
that,
how
but her fry. Listen to her vocal fry. And this again is like I couldn't even. She's a doctor, you guys, and her Kardashian fry is enough to make me want to punch things. But just
so
I just
she's apparently like a huge proponent of full-term abortions. Oh, I forgot about this. This is Pierre's response.
Oh, yeah.
This was Pierre's response to Trudeau breaking the law. He's just like, breaking. Judge rules Trudeau broke the highest law in the land with the Emergency Act. He caused the crisis by dividing people. Then he violated charter rights to illegally suppress citizens. As PM, I will unite our country for freedom. Sign here to fire Trudeau and unite for freedom. So go, Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre's
love
awesome.
Love it. All right, now for that crazy medical
Vocal fry
student.
chick.
I think abortion should be unrestricted. And I think when somebody finds out in pregnancy, or how far along that they are when someone finds out, they should be able to get an abortion if they want to. And for some people, that is full term. If I can't get abortion training here, if I can't perform abortions in my career, I will not stay in Wisconsin. And a lot of my colleagues who are on the same track agree.
All right, thank you. That'll do nothing to help our shortages.
Great. Oh my God. I'm a complete and utter psychopath.
Oh my God.
I'm a psycho.
Awful.
Yeah, it's like, that's just, that's evil. That's evil right there.
That is just disgusting. And even if it's full term.
Yeah.
Gross.
I need to go eat a salad. I'm a Kardashian. I can't.
Before we get to double D's, I do have two happy little things to share with you. So first of all, I want to build a fence that I'm not even allowed to have at my new house. But if I could build a privacy fence, I would absolutely build it just like this.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that is the cutest thing. That is the cutest thing. Isn't it the best? Listen to the whining. Oh my gosh. I would build a door and just have them come over. I just can't. I can't even deal.
Oh my gosh.
I totally forgot what my double D is today. I forgot.
It's like a kickboxing lady.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So I follow this tractor thing,
but it's not time yet. So just hang on.
Not time yet. Okay. It's not time. Okay. All right.
So first I wanted to show you this amazing, crazy illusion. So this looks like mice scurrying down a street.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
And when you see what it actually is, it's just a complete mind screw. Watch this. I mean, that looks like mice.
Or tampons. Like
it's wheat. It's freaking wheat.
That's so weird.
Isn't that the weirdest thing ever?
Where are they? Where is that?
I have no idea. It looks beautiful though.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. That's why I'm asking.
It's amazing. I have no idea. I just saw that and I was like, I totally thought that was mice.
Yeah, that's really, really pretty.
Okay, now go ahead and explain.
Okay, so it's just this is just funny. It's like a tractor site that I follow, and it's a dude making. Listen, everybody wants to videotape their workouts. Can we just not? And the people who make fun of the people who videotape their workouts all the time, those are my people. And so I love this guy so much. I just wanted to share this with you guys. I love him. I love him so much.
That was awesome. Totally and completely awesome.
My favorite.
Also, before we get to actual talks, please remember that there are huge discounts on bedding, towels, mattresses. So much more is on super sale right now at mypillow.com/chicks. There's free shipping on every single order, no matter how big of a thing you are ordering. So please take advantage. Visit mypillow.com/chicks. Use code chicks to save. And don't forget, when you go to that site, mypillow.com/chicks, scroll down, because some of the very, very best and deepest discounts are on like super random things that you wouldn't expect. So just check out all the things that they have at mypillow.com/chicks. Okay, so first of all, I don't know who this fellow is, but he and his goat or sheep or whatever that is. Is that a sheep or a goat?
I can't see it. I don't know which one you're clicking on. That's a goat.
It's a goat.
I just never did. How got you, baby? How got you, baby?
I love how the goat's just like, yeah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard, but I just loved it so much.
That was.
Oh my God.
They're BFFs, those two.
Loved it. Okay, this guy is so relatable. I love him so much. And go.
I accidentally called God babe while I was praying. And it was honestly more awkward than you think.
That is a little awkward. That's very awkward. I'm sure that he understands, but still, that's a little weird.
One of the comments said, I accidentally asked God while I was praying to him to pray for me. So some of the comments on that were so good. I just absolutely loved it. Also, how cool would it be to make friends with a moose?
Yeah, that'd be cool. He's so cute.
Oh, shit.
You know I love giant animals.
Oh,
like
I love him.
He's adorable.
Oh.
On the nose.
Yeah, he's basically booping him.
Okay, calm down. Stay there. Hey, stay.
He's afraid. He's visibly afraid of him.
I mean, that's a big animal.
Okay.
I'd love
Give
that.
her another apple.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
He's even cutting it for him and everything.
Well, that's sweet. He's cutting it in half. I'm sure he could probably handle a whole apple.
Hello. Good morning.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, that is just remarkable. I love him.
I know.
So
cool.
Snoot. He's so sweet.
I know, right? He just lets himself be pet. I just think that's incredible.
That is incredible.
Okay. No.
You can't come in.
Oh my gosh, he's like, it's cold out here, dude. I want to come in. You have heat.
When you're cold, they're cold. Let your pets in.
It's true.
Who would like to learn some Appalachian terms?
I'm here for it.
Okay, because I love an Appalachian accent, and this girl's got some words for us.
Words that are common in Appalachia that might not be common everywhere else. Holler. I live up a holler. Wasper. It's a wasp, but we say wasper.
Using that forever.
Buggy. It's a shopping cart, but we like to call them buggies.
I love that word.
Nary. Ain't nary one helped me a bit. Mess. No, it's not something dirty. It's like a mess of green beans. Reckon. Well, I reckon it's supposed to rain today.
I love all of those. I'm going to use Wasper every single time I can.
I like how mess had 2 syllables.
Mayus.
Uh-huh.
As you know, I have become a complete homebody as of late.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's afraid of everything, you guys.
I'm afraid of everything. And so now I totally relate to the feeling of exhilaration, really, if you actually leave the house. And this woman relates.
Oh my God, guys, I just did something. Do you want to know what I just did? I left the house after I came home from work. New year, new me.
So you. She never leaves her house. Mock never leaves her house, ever.
I don't like to leave anymore. And it's going to get worse when I move. It's going to get so much worse.
Yes, she's never ever going to leave because her house will basically be like a resort. She's never going to leave. And then I'm going to be like, listen, we've got to travel every once in a while for work. She'll be like, no.
I don't want to.
Can I send a hologram? That's what she's going to do. And I'll be like, that's not going to work for hugs and stuff, but she's going to try.
Just don't like traveling. I'm afraid of aircrafts falling apart now. I'm afraid of terrorists. I'm afraid of everything.
She's afraid of all of it.
Thanks a lot, Biden. It's all your fault.
Yeah.
Also, I know I've shown the woman that like somehow just has big giant bears coming up to her doorstep all the time. And she's trained them to like close the door, to sit. She's got this one mama bear trained. And this mama bear, in return, I guess, has allowed her bear cubs to come and visit. And this is just the cutest.
I think you showed this one to us.
I didn't show them coming up the stair step. This is brand new.
Okay.
This was just posted like yesterday.
Who's here? Mama said.
And it's like she's
Mama
leaving them
sit.
to get babysat because she's like, okay, now you've got
girl.
them. I gotta go and get
Sit,
my hair
Mama.
done.
I gotta go get my nails did, and I need a nap.
She's like, bye. Can you just watch them for a while?
yeah, because I am so tired. I have not slept in like 4 months.
You're dropping your cubs off and you're taking off? Oh, so that's how it's done.
God, they're so cute.
Hey,
And it's
babies.
amazing because they know not to
baby.
completely cross the
Your
threshold.
mama to come back and get
It's like
you.
their mom has told them what the
Yeah.
rules are.
To come back
Mhm.
and get you.
Like
Look
they'll
at-
stop right there.
Except for that one. That one looks like a troublemaker, and I like him. I really like him.
I mean, that is just, and when all four of them like get on the ledge, I'm just like, how is this real life? I would be staring at that, just being like, this is freaking incredible.
Oh my
What's
God,
happening?
I love them. They would get all the apples.
Oh my God, every single apple.
Every single apple.
And then I'd want to bring one in, and that would probably get me into some trouble. But like, how do you resist that? You know? And the mama
Yeah.
is just sitting there, like, this is fine. I trust you. You're good. See how they just step over, but they don't go in.
They're so sweet. They're so,
Oh
so
my
sweet.
God. I just love them all so much.
She wants a bear, you guys.
All right. Anyway, those are your talks for today.
Okay, so there will not be a dog because I have to go. I have to go to the dentist. I have
you got
this,
your
like,
thing.
yeah, I had like a, what do you call it? Is it a crown or what?
or-
Cap or whatever that is? I don't know. I never go to the dentist, you guys. I hate the dentist, and I went like last Friday, and
She's doing it out of sympathy. That's what's happening. I think you're getting a
Right.
cap out of sympathy for
And
my
I've had
gum surgery.
pain ever since then. So they have to fix whatever it is they did. I'm never going back. I'm never going back.
Dentists
So-
are the worst. Apologies to dentists,
And
but like, I hate
you
going to
guys
them.
are awesome. If you're a dentist, you're awesome. Yay. I just personally am terrified of dentists. And now that
I
I've
know.
been and I'm in pain, I don't ever want to go back. So anyways, I have to run and do that right now, but I will make sure we get
Okay.
flaps tomorrow. So
Okay.
you guys have a great Wednesday, and we will talk
You
to
are not bringing it in, and that is
Oh
unacceptable.
my God, I'm sorry. I got to bring it in. I got to bring it in. Unacceptable. Yes, Princess Daisy gets a crown. I love that, Anita. That's fantastic. I know.
Love it.
I know what kind of crowns I like, and this is not the kind of crown I like. So you guys have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.